When a lonely man matches with a sultry woman on a mysterious dating app for casual encounters, he becomes entangled in a deadly game of deception where nothing is as it seems. While preparing dinner, Anna receives a call from her partner, Josh, who explains he'll be late due to traffic. Miffed, she nonetheless accepts his excuse and resumes cooking. As Anna's patience begins to wear thin, Josh finally arrives, apologizing profusely. The visibly annoyed woman could only give her man a quick kiss before leading him to the dinner table. Josh then tries to further appease Anna by complimenting the food she prepared, but out of nowhere, she asks him why he seems nervous. He brushes it off with a casual denial, only to accidentally knock over his glass of wine, betraying his claim. Frustrated by his obvious deception, Anna grabs Josh's phone and accuses him of infidelity. With a heavy heart, he eventually comes clean, confessing to cheating with his assistant. Anna could only lament their crumbling marriage. In a moment of vulnerability, she expresses her desire to make him feel loved in a way no other woman has. They then proceed to make love, with the security camera capturing it all. The next morning, as Josh prepares to leave the house, a well-dressed man suddenly enters, leaving him confused. Before he can react, though, the man warns he's in serious trouble. Just then, Anna appears to intervene. The man turns out to be Anna's husband, Tom. As he menacingly approaches Josh, the latter nervously tries to explain his presence in the house. Before he could finish, though, Anna sneaks up from behind and presses a cloth soaked in a substance over his face, knocking him unconscious. Later that day, a disoriented Josh wakes up in the bathroom to find Anna sitting beside him. Struggling to piece together what happened, he looks to her for answers. Anna calmly explains that her actions earlier were meant to protect him. She then reveals a shocking truth. Tom had been watching them the entire time through the home's security cameras. She adds that her husband gets turned on by seeing her with other men. As Josh remarks on the absurdity of the situation, Anna wryly mentions the app where they met, noting that it doesn't exactly attract the most upstanding individuals. A few days ago, Josh's friend Mark called, excited about LoveBomb, an app for casual dating. Still reeling from his breakup with Tara, Josh admitted he wasn't ready to date. Undeterred, Mark shared his thrilling experience with the app, urging Josh to give it a try. When Josh confessed he still loved his ex, Mark reminded him she had already moved on, and that he should too. Moments after the call, the newly single man gave in and downloaded LoveBomb, eventually matching with Anna. For their first meeting, Anna proposed an unusual scenario. They would roleplay as husband and wife. In this setup, Josh would arrive late, confess to cheating, and then they would make love. Back in the bathroom, Anna explains that Tom enjoys watching her roleplay with other men, hence why she orchestrated the scenario they acted out the previous night. However, Josh remains puzzled, mentioning that Tom didn't seem particularly pleased when he saw him. In response, Anna elaborates that it's all part of their game. Tom would allow her to sleep with other men and watch on the condition that he would inflict punishment on the men afterward. When Josh realizes they've done this before, Anna quickly clarifies that it's only happened twice. Growing increasingly uneasy, Josh presses her, demanding to know what happened to the previous two men. With a hint of concern on her face, Anna could only offer a vague response, saying things got out of hand. She then apologizes to Josh for getting him into this predicament. To calm an already agitated Josh, Anna promises they'll find a way out. But when she asks if he trusts her, he accuses her of being an accomplice. Offended, Anna insists she's a victim too, and is only forced to obey her husband. Doubtful of Anna's claims, Josh challenges her to prove her innocence by calling the emergency hotline. However, she refuses. To her, Tom isn't an evil person, just a troubled individual in need of help. Despite everything, Anna admits she still loves him. Just then, they hear a knock on the door. Panic sets in as Anna freezes. Acting quickly, Josh lies back and pretends to be unconscious. Moments later, Josh sits up, feigning to have just woken up. However, Tom immediately sees through the act, remarking that he actually heard them talking. He then mocks Josh, taking jabs at his cheap-looking clothes. With a sly grin, he asks how it feels to sleep with a rich man's wife. When Anna attempts to intervene, Tom silences her with a sharp, commanding rebuke. To Josh's surprise, Tom follows it up with an invitation to him for a drink. Downstairs, Tom places a gun prominently on the table as a clear form of intimidation. He then pours brandy into 2 glasses, waxing poetic about his love for the drink. Across from him, Josh stands tense and cautious, his eyes never straying far from the weapon. Tom then invites Josh to drink, but the latter declines. When Anna joins them, her husband launches into a rant about how she has broken his heart repeatedly. Tom admits to dealing with his emotions in the past with rage, but claims he now prefers civility. Nevertheless, the sinister look on his face continues to unsettle Josh. With a trembling hand, Josh takes a sip of the brandy. Now fueled by alcohol, Josh musters enough courage to suggest he be allowed to leave. However, Tom refuses, instead asking if Anna had told him of his profession. When Josh says no, An irritated Tom reveals he's a reality TV producer. He readily admits that his shows are fake, but argues they're far less harmful than modern dating apps. Though he acknowledges meeting Anna on a dating site, he criticizes such platforms for fostering superficiality and infidelity. With Josh's eyes remaining fixated on the gun, Tom dares him to pick it up. Instead of taking the bait though, Josh bolts for the door in a frantic attempt to escape. Unfortunately, it's locked. Tom then reveals that his state-of-the-art security system ensures no door in the house can be opened without the proper access code. Realizing he's truly trapped, Josh tries to appeal to Tom's emotions. He explains that he had no idea Anna was married and would never have pursued her if he had known. He goes on to share that he's been cheated on before and would never inflict that kind of pain on anyone, knowing firsthand how deeply it hurts. Desperate, he pleads with Tom once again, promising to keep everything a secret if he's allowed to leave. Though Tom empathizes with Josh's past experience, he coldly admits he remains bent on hurting him. To show that he's serious, he subsequently reaches for his gun. Without much choice, Josh dashes upstairs and locks himself in a room. Tom then calmly follows him, knowing he's in complete control of the situation. With the gun in hand, he declares that his potential victim's attempts to escape are only fueling his anger. Suddenly, Anna slips into the room through an alternate entrance. Without a word, she gestures for Josh to follow her and leads him to an adjacent room. Frustrated by his predicament, Josh erupts into a rant, questioning why women like Anna are drawn to men like Tom and the man his ex left him for. Anna then responds with quiet resignation, admitting this isn't the life she imagined for herself. She recalls how Tom had once been an incredible boyfriend whose true nature emerged once they were married. She adds that by the time she realized who her husband truly was, it was already too late. When Josh suggests she divorce her husband, Anna gives him a sharp look, reminding him that he's already seen firsthand what he's like. She emphasizes that it's naive to think she could simply walk away from someone like Tom. Anna then expresses her disillusionment, claiming there are no good men. Disagreeing with her sentiment, Josh insists he's different and vows to help her get out of her unhappy relationship. In another attempt to escape, Josh retraces Anna's earlier route and makes it back to the living room. Facing the locked doors again, he hurls a chair at them, but it bounces back, knocking him down. While writhing in pain, Tom eventually finds him. Sometime later, Josh wakes up pantless and restrained in a sinister-looking device. To his horror, he realizes he's in Tom's infamous punishment room. Noticing the fresh bruise on Josh's forehead, Tom cruelly presses hard against it, eliciting a scream of pain. He informs Josh that he'll only stop if he says the safe word. When Josh protests that he doesn't even know it, Tom turns to Anna, looking confused. Anna merely shrugs, offering no explanation. Tom then sneers, suggesting that Josh must have been trying to be tough. As the TV producer searches for a device to further torment his victim, Josh pleads to be let go, promising to give Tom anything he wants. In response, Tom demands his dignity back after Josh's betrayal. But, seeing that that's not possible, he chillingly declares he'll take Josh's instead. Holding an adult toy, Tom prepares to humiliate Josh as the latter pleads for mercy. Unexpectedly, however, Tom pauses and reconsiders, only to reveal another device. He then hands it to his wife, instructing her to take charge. The device turns out to be an electroshock tool. Reluctantly, Anna straps it to Josh's private areas and hands the controller back to Tom. As the reality of the situation hits him, Josh erupts into frantic screams for help. His tormentor, however, casually reminds him that they're in a soundproof room. Bracing for the inevitable, Josh starts mumbling his ex Tara's name. This momentarily throws Tom off and causes him to hesitate. Sensing his confusion, Anna calmly reminds him that it's all part of the game and urges him to go through with it. Overhearing their conversation, Josh suddenly realizes something is off and asks if Tom and Anna are truly married. With Tom unable to give a straight answer, the captive's suspicion only deepens. However, before he can press further, Anna snatches the controls and, with a sinister grin, repeatedly shocks Josh, leaving Tom wincing at the sight. In reality, Tom is just a struggling actor. After being rejected for a role in a show about washed-up actors, Tom returned to bartending and confided in his friend Hampton. He admitted his failed auditions stemmed from unresolved feelings about his ex-wife leaving him for a more successful actor. Hampton then suggested the LoveBomb dating app, pitching it as both a way to find romance and practice role-playing to sharpen his acting skills. Despite his initial disdain for dating apps, Tom eventually relented and downloaded the app, where he later matched with Anna. During their chat, she revealed that her husband had a thing for role-playing. She then proposed an intriguing scenario. Tom would play the part of a psychotic husband who punishes men for sleeping with his wife, while Anna's supposed real husband Josh would act as the unsuspecting third party. The day Tom showed up at Anna's house and confronted Josh actually marked his first real-life encounter with both of them. When Anna rendered Josh unconscious, Tom was genuinely shocked, but she reassured him it was part of her husband's fantasy. While they moved the unconscious man to the bathroom, Anna firmly outlined the next steps, emphasizing the need for Tom to stay in character. As Anna torments Josh, Tom grows uneasy and questions the safety of her actions. Annoyed, she snaps at him to maintain character. Tom then realizes Josh isn't her husband, but another victim of her scheme. Sympathizing, he demands she stop, but Anna remains defiant, even mocking him and daring him to act. When Tom points a gun at her, she laughs, revealing it's not even loaded. Desperate, Josh urges Tom to stop Anna, even suggesting violence. But Tom refuses to hit a woman. With Anna unrelenting, Tom tries to grab the controller, only for her to strike him in the face. Left with no choice, he grabs a shovel and knocks her unconscious. Tom quickly frees Josh, apologizing as he works. Once out of the room, they agree to join forces to escape. Since they're locked in, Josh suggests calling the emergency hotline. However, Tom discovers his phone is missing. Earlier that day, when Josh was knocked out by the chair, Tom and Anna proceeded to drag him to the punishment room. As Tom grew concerned about Josh's condition and considered calling for help, Anna distracted him with seduction, stealing his phone in the process. Without a device to call for help, the two men search for another way out as Anna regains consciousness, more enraged than ever. After failing to open every door, Josh begins to lose hope, but Tom remains determined, noting they're two men against one woman. As Josh reflects on his unlucky love life, Tom empathizes, sharing his own pain. With bitterness, he reveals his son Devin is now in Cannes, with her ex's new partner, living the life Tom could never provide. As the men bond over their heartbreaks, Anna's voice suddenly crackles through a speaker. Having eavesdropped, she mocks their sad stories. She also suggests that they couldn't handle the fact that a woman is now in control of their situation, hinting at their underlying misogyny. With a playful yet menacing tone, she adds they won't leave until she's had her fun. Tom then retorts, accusing her of being no feminist, but a deranged person who enjoys causing pain. Anna admits there may be truth to his words, but reminds him they both agreed to this experiment, so they have only themselves to blame. Realizing Anna can't hear whispers, Tom and Josh quietly plot their next move. Unfazed, Anna calmly asserts she can counter anything they try. From the control room, she mocks Tom for not locking his phone, scrolling through his messages, and playing a heartfelt video from Devin. Tauntingly, she asks what to reply and threatens to tell Devin what Tom's been up to. When Anna claims she sent a crude reply to the boy, Tom snaps. Enraged, he storms upstairs to confront her, ignoring Josh's frantic warnings that she's only baiting him. As Tom approaches Anna's room, the door suddenly swings open. Armed with a bow and arrow, Anna shoots, striking him directly in the chest. Josh then rushes to Tom's side, desperately trying to help. Struggling to breathe, Tom unexpectedly asks about his acting job from earlier. Trying to comfort him, Josh offers heartfelt praise. A faint smile crosses the frustrated actor's face before he succumbs to his injuries. After watching it unfold, Anna coldly tells Josh she'll give him a head start. She then prepares her weapon and begins counting ominously, revealing that Anna is, in fact, the creator and CEO of the LoveBomb app. In a meeting the day before, an employee, Jared, proposed a premium tier allowing users to pay for increased visibility. Confidently seeking her feedback, Jared was met with Anna's cold dismissal. When he pressed for an explanation, she reminded him that, as the CEO, she owed no justification. Jared then argued that the tier could filter out dangerous users, helping protect women on the platform. But Anna disagreed, stating his assumption that women only want safe connections was misguided. She emphasized that LoveBomb wasn't for serious dating, but for exploring desires without the pretense of safety or commitment. After the meeting, Anna told her assistant, Rachel, that she wanted to fire Jared, but needed a reason. Rachel then mentioned his unwelcome advances toward Cassie, a new employee. Seizing the opportunity, the ruthless CEO instructed Rachel to have Cassie file a formal HR complaint. Just then, Anna received a text from Josh confirming their plans. After replying, she instructed Rachel to clear her schedule for the next day, with sinister plans in mind. After giving Josh a head start, Anna searches for him, spotting what looks like a shoe behind the kitchen counter. As she approaches, she notices the chopping board knife is missing and realizes Josh has taken it. Speaking to him, she pretends to favor him over Tom, but quickly drops the act. She aims her weapon at the hiding spot, only to find it with just the shoe. Realizing she's been tricked, Anna scans the room, growing tense and venting her hatred for men. Suddenly, Josh appears and stabs her foot. Despite the pain, Anna manages to fire, hitting him in the lower back. As Josh writhes in agony, she takes aim for a final shot. But before she's able to do so, he gasps out a question, asking why she became this way. Assuming she's dealing with internal struggles, he proposes that they could help each other heal. Unmoved by Josh's words, Anna coldly tells him he'll never understand her. She then reveals, without remorse, that she has already killed the one person responsible for her pain. Realizing his words won't work, Josh lunges, tackling Anna to the ground. In the struggle, he gains the upper hand and strangles her with all his might. Gasping for air, Anna is somehow able to grab an arrow, stabbing Josh in the neck with it. As Anna watches Josh bleed to death, Tom suddenly appears. With rage in his eyes, he stabs her repeatedly with an arrow, and they both collapse, bleeding heavily. In their final moments, Anna reveals she didn't send a crude text to Tom's son. Instead, she sent a kind message, assuring Tom that his son would know how much he loves him. Grateful, Tom whispers his thanks. As they near death, Anna softly suggests she might not be so bad after all. Moments later, Tom succumbs to his injuries, followed by Anna, ending the twisted ordeal with all 3 participants dead.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.